Coming up on DU Sports.
The Lady Panther volleyball team has a new coach.
Drury's basketball teams head down two different paths.
We preview spring sports, baseball and tennis.
Both Drury swim teams make their final preparations for nationals.
And a story about a young man on a mission.
It's all next. DU Sports is now.
Plain and simple.
I'll be able to see it on TV now.
Hello and welcome back after a lengthy layoff.
This is DU Sports. I'm Bobby Hearn. He is John Miller.
That's right. After over a month of searching to replace former head coach Amy Gardner, the Lady Panther volleyball team now has a new head coach.
That's right, and her name is Ashleigh Shear. Formerly the top assistant of Division I McNeese State, she will take over a Lady Panther team that many has felt has the potential to compete near the top of the GLVC.
I like to be successful, and losing's tough for everybody. And sometimes it takes a while to learn to win, if that means, and you got to do lots of little things to make sure that you learn to win. Showing up to practice on time, picking up all the balls in a quick manner, running to get a drink and running back. I mean, it's just going to be lots and lots of little changes that are going to help us hopefully change our mindset a little bit.
Shear was primarily in charge of recruiting at McNeese State.
You know, John, she's only 25 years old. She was also a star when she played at Ole Miss for their volleyball team. Not a bad experience to have now as a head coach.
Not at all. But as the new face of Drury volleyball, the mentality is now different and expectations are a little higher.
I think Pat's goal is for us to be in the top echelon of our conference so that people say, well, what are the powers in the GLVC? Drury's among the top, the first, second, third name they list.
I think if we find the right people, and I think she has the connections to get the right people, I think if she does get them, which hopefully she will, our success rate is going to be phenomenal. I think it will be a lot better next year, and I think it's kind of like a new coach, so we're all kind of starting over again. So we have an open mind now, and so our spirits are really up.
Shear said the team's conditioning will run through the spring in order to build that winning attitude.
When it comes to winning on a different front, it's the tale of two cities for Drury basketball. That's a great book, by the way.
It is a nice book. Lately, the women have been streaking.
We're going streaking?
No, John. We're not.
Oh.
The women have won several games in a row as they compete for another GLVC championship.
But the men are a different story.
The team has been handed two big setbacks with season-ending injuries to standout freshman Dominique Long and over the break, senior Adam White.
For White, it's the end of a career for one of the toughest players to ever don a Panther uniform.
It was like right before the half, and I got a steal. I was just going up to finish the play. Next thing you know, I was on my back.
And I saw his knee buckle when he came down. Obviously, at that time, you want to give the young man hope that it's not that bad, but in my mind, he was done. Obviously, when it came back that he had torn his ACL, we hugged, and Adam means a lot to me. I've called him a warrior many times. He was the spirit of our team.
I don't think you can really replace someone with that kind of toughness. I mean, he's a hard-nosed player that brings it every night, and he is a warrior like Coach Hesser says. I mean, I think he was one of the top 5 rebounders in the GLVC, and I don't think you can really replace that. We just have to have, I think, a little bit different roles, everyone on the team, just do a little bit more rebounding and just playing a little bit harder.
Jamel Grant, Alfred Nelson, Dusty Allen, those 3 guys have the ability to go rebound the basketball, and we need to get some more help out of our guards. Quentin Branch needs to, take the responsibility that rebounding is important and go rebound. Denton Mitchell needs to do that as well.
I've been kind of just working my way back into it. They have me slowly working back into walking a little bit. I'm probably going to have surgery in the near future.
It's very, very difficult, but I'm proud of how he's dealing with it.
Right now, I just go out there and shoot free throws and just, do stuff that's not going to hurt my knee, and it's so hard for me not to do anything right now.
White recently has surgery. His timetable for recovery is unknown.
His absence has definitely left a void on Coach Hesser's team.
From late January to early February, the team went on the wrong kind of streak.
To find out more about it, here's an update on the team since you last saw us.
It's been a while since we've seen the men here on the show. We've been off a while. Let's start it up again, though, shall we? Tim Brown knocks down the 3 here. He had 12 in this one against Missouri Valley, 7 assists to that as well. Quentin Branch had a career high at this point in his career. That was 13 points. But the story of the game was Jamel Grant, who had 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, 2 of them there. Missouri Valley only knocked down 14 out of 54 of their shots. Yikes. Adam White ices the game here for Drury as the Panthers destroy Missouri Valley 84-45. Next up for the Panthers was the first game of the new year, taking on Quincy January 2nd at home. 2 men were the story of this game. The first, Chris Imes, the Panthers' leading scorer in this one. The second, the man you see right here, Adam White, who went for a double-double, lays it in, got contact there, no foul though. Tim Brown, have some 3. The Panthers bench excited. Head coach for Quincy, Marty Bell, not so much. Tyler Burke trying to keep his team in it though. He had 18, 4 for 7 from behind the arc, but in the end, too much Imes, 17 points in this one, 5 rebounds as well. Drury beats Quincy 70-53. The final of an early 3-game January homestretch, Tim Brown knocks down 3 against Lewis. In fact, Brown did that 5 times in this game, finished with 20. Dennis Thomas for Lewis, though, knocking down 3 of his own, trying to keep his team in it. He finished with 15. Coach Hesser not pleased with his team's defense. Adam White says sure thing. He led the Panthers with 6 rebounds in this one. Tim Brown will finish the job off. Panthers 74, Lewis 60. On the road, the Panthers would lose to Wisconsin Parkside despite Quentin Branch's 16 and beat St. Joseph's, led by Chris Imes' 24.
All right, let's bring it. Let's go. Our house. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
After the season-ending injury to Adam White in the previous game, the Panthers came back home against Indianapolis and found 4 players in double figures. Dusty Allen was one of those with 14. So was Chris Imes. He had 25, the layup there. Quincy's trying to get back in it, but the Panthers got out to a 14-point lead at halftime in this one. Creighton Branch had 11. That one was a fancy one. He's pumped up about it. And it was also Steve Hesser's 100th win as the Panthers coach as they take the game 88-80 over Indy. NKU visiting the Panthers on January 17th here at Weiser. This was a game that went back and forth, saw several lead changes. Freshman Dusty Allen had a career-high 17 points in this one, and at halftime it was the 100th anniversary of Panther basketball. Take a listen. Coming out of halftime, the Panthers built a 13-point lead in this one, but they wouldn't hold it. Jamel Grant knocks down the 3. He had 13. Dustin McGuire for NKU had 30 points in this one, knocked down 7 3-pointers, and in the end, NKU just too much for the Panthers, pulling this one out in overtime nonetheless, 91-86. And this is where things start to get rough for the Panthers, losing to Bellarmine by 20 and Kentucky Wesleyan by 31. Coach Hesser, understandably, disappointed in the road trip.
We need to get this ship going in the right direction and get it going in the right direction in a hurry.
And with the Panthers get the ship going against Umsel, back in town for a brief 1-game stint, there's Chris Imes hitting the 3. Umsel came out, hit their first 10 shots of the half, up 22 at halftime. The Panthers did try to make a comeback in the second half behind Imes. Imes had 26 in this one, but in the end, too much offense early from the Tritons, 80-65 over Drury. The next road trip sent the Panthers to 2-7 on the year, losing to Rockhurst 93-82 and Southern Indiana 84-71. Drury back home looking for a win, a 2-game set, the first against S&T. Quentin Branch, 24 points in this one, a career high. Panthers making it rain early, hit 10 out of their first 13 shots, but they were led by that man, Chris Imes, having a big day. But S&T would battle back after the Panthers built a solid lead, but in the end, too much Chris Imes. Imes having a career day, 32 points, add 6 assists to that. Oh, there he is again. This really could just be a highlight about him, and, well, I guess it was. The Panthers win by 10, 89-79. Next up, Drury has Rockhurst looking for win number 2 in a row, but Rockhurst wouldn't make it easy, going up by 26 early on. Tim Brown knocks down the 3. Brown had a big game, 15 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, a couple of nice dunks. Jamel Grant there, Chris Imes here. Imes had 27. The problem was Rockhurst's Aaron Hill also had 27, and his team won by 13. Up in St. Louis, the Panthers taking on Umsall for the second time this year, but similar results, losing 78-75.